She exploded into brutal personal attacks, text shouting, "You're proving me right. You're okay right away with the breakup. WTF, where's your manhood?"
Oh my
Gaslighter. My fiancée, 27 female, ended our engagement over text and exploded when I, 27 male, accepted the breakup. I'm numb, trying to process how my engagement evaporated over text last night. We've been together for 1 year and 8 months, engaged since last October. She is bisexual with 2 female exes, and she constantly compared me to them.
Interesting.
In those past relationships, she was always the masculine one. Early on, I told her it was completely okay and that I accepted that about her. But she never treated me like a fiancé. When she took me to hang out with her friends, she wouldn't even introduce me. She just told me I'm a grown man and should interact with them myself. I'm introverted and too shy to initiate without an introduction, so I was just left sitting there like a rock.
Oh.
I had my shortcomings too. I was constantly stressed, managing a heavy workload, paying bills, and financially supporting my cousin through college. It made me preoccupied and spaced out. Meanwhile, she always demanded weekend travels, leaving me no money or time to rest. The breaking point happened when she had a female friend stay at the house. For 2 nights, they cuddled in bed. Knowing her history, I admitted it made me jealous and uncomfortable. She brushed me off. So I will do what I want to do. Bahala ka. Oh, Tagalog. It means deal with it. Or like, this is, you're by yourself. You're on your own. My accent's not very good, but communication shattered. We had a massive fight on June 1 and she checked out. I spent days begging her to give us another chance, but she kept saying she didn't love me anymore. Yesterday, completely exhausted, I finally texted her that I wanted to break up since I couldn't keep chasing someone who didn't care. Tonight, she sent the final blow, telling me she doesn't love me and not to waste her time. It broke me, but I didn't beg this time. I took the high road. I calmly texted back accepting her decision, apologized for my flaws, and thanked her for everything. My calm acceptance drove her insane. Let's see, she exploded into brutal personal attacks, text shouting, "You're proving me right, you're okay right away with the breakup. WTF, where's your manhood?"
Oh
Gaslighter. She called me a backboneless boy who needs his mother, said no girl would ever want me, and demanded I go tell her family we are over. Oh man, family's involved in this too. Her text was an emotional trap. She expected me to crawl and beg again. When I acted like an adult and accepted her boundary, she lost her leverage and lost her mind. I sent one final text, told her to enjoy her weekend, and that I'm coming over this Saturday to face her parents directly, explain the breakup, get my things, and return her motorcycle. She immediately replied with more rage, blaming me for not fighting for her. I left her on red. TLDR, my fiancé, 27 female, of 1 year, 8 months, constantly compared me to a 27 male.
That's the short
to
version.
Yeah, too long, didn't read. To her female exes, ignored my boundaries by cuddling with a friend in my bed, and refused to introduce me to her social circle. After she checked out and told me she didn't love me, I tired of begging and accepted the breakup calmly. She completely exploded into rage and personal attacks. Because I didn't crawl back, proving her text was just a toxic power play. How do I handle facing her parents this Saturday to explain the breakup, and how do I maintain my boundaries if she shows up?
Whoa. I think the guy, make the right decision to move on, because I think this girl is kind of toxic. Just by reading this. Yeah, she's toxic just by reading this.
Capital T for Tom.
He can just be like, I don't think that this relationship's going to work out. Your daughter didn't respect my boundaries. And I don't think she respect me as a person, just by the text that, she sent it to you. And then just leave at that, and then gather your thing and leave. That's what best you can explain to the parents without having to give too much, because this is still your story, your relationship. And just apologize like, oh, I'm sorry it didn't work out. That's it. Yeah.
Man.
But dang.
Leading up to this episode today, I was thinking, we should talk more about culture. And then this is like culture on steroids. Oh my goodness. Wow. And just like processing on his behalf.
Is it kind of reminded you of, things, a relationship you had?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read me really well. So I have had ex-partners before who, let's say, were also Filipino American. And again, not to generalize, not just Filipino American girls or people, just people. It reminds me of this type of person, person being his soon-to-be ex-fiance, maybe, of this kind of like entitled, not just entitled, how do you say this? Entitled to be belligerent at all costs type of situation.
Gaslighting.
This entitled to be belligerent because I am the prize. Like, you being the guy dating me, you're lucky. And whatever I do, I can excuse. I don't have to take accountability because I'm the girl. I can do whatever the F I want. And if should you ever call me out, I'm going to gaslight the F out of you because I can. Because whatever I do is right. And you can't comment on it because you just can't. That's just how I live my life. The world revolves around me. It's so deep in their psyche. They will go to the ends of the earth, kind of like this guy is saying. Objectively speaking, if you ask anybody about what's going on, it's like, from what it sounds like, I think the girl's in the wrong here. Like many things, like one after the other. Dang. And this is a kind of like has an interesting element with the whole bisexual thing. I don't have much experience with that, but I would imagine one thing that the girl can use as an argument that, oh, maybe we're just doing friendly things as like girls. Again, I have no idea.
It's still...
I'm not educated enough about bisexual people, but I would imagine that's something that can be excused, that can later progress into, okay, they actually start cuddling or they actually start doing things that are more than friends.
I think what you're trying to say is, if you're bisexual, you cannot use an excuse of, well, she's my friend, because you are attracted to two, different sex. So you should treat them, women or men, you should treat them as like a potential partner, a potential sexual partner, because she's attracted to both parties, right? Like, for example, if I'm not attracted to a woman and I hang out with my woman friend, and then my boyfriend or husband gets jealous, then that's a different story, right? But like, if I'm sexually attracted to woman and man, then it's rightfully for the other partner to be jealous of either sex, because you are attracted to both sex, right? So I think maybe that's what you're trying to say.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't just treat it like, oh, they're same sex, they're not gonna like do anything more than friend. It's not the same for someone who's sexually attracted to like two different sex. I don't really have very much experience of this level of toxic relationship. Honestly, like, I would run very far away from this girl if I were him.
There's another element too of the facing the family thing. That's really intense also. I wonder if the family knows about well, they probably know about the girl's bisexual nature.
That doesn't really, to me, like, that bisexual doesn't really play very much role, other than that she just can't hang out with either sex in more than friends dynamic, meaning like if we just go out or buy drinks or something like that, but let alone sleeping and cuddling, then yeah, more than that, like, it's not really a big deal. And at least I think it's not really a big deal in the family whatever dynamic.
I think it is a big deal, because if the family is not 100% aware and accepts, oh, she is bisexual, therefore she can be actually attracted to both sexes. If they think that it's not that she's straight, or maybe she maybe has expressed it to them, but maybe if they're traditional Filipino, maybe they don't really take it seriously. If he comes to them and be like, well, I'm ending this engagement because your daughter cuddled with someone else, they could be like, well, it's just a girl. Like, what are you talking about? They're friends. So from that aspect, I think that matters quite a big deal, because again, it reminds me of this type of girl, type of person. She has many different tools available to her to gaslight you and to make you feel like that you're in the wrong.
I can see what you're saying. But even being a straight girl, cuddling with another girl, that's weird to begin with. Like, at least my experience, or for me personally, like, as a straight girl, you are cuddling with some, like, the same sex that you're not attracted to. Like, it's just weird, right? If you tell that story to family who think the girl is straight, maybe like, what? She's cuddling with a girl? Like, that's odd. That would be a question to raise. But another point is that I don't think he owes them any more than what I just mentioned earlier. Like, in terms of explanation. It's not like he cheated on her, right? If that's the case, then maybe like he may owe them a explanation, but that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he has to explain himself more than what he needs to, which is your girl did not respect me as a person, as a man, doesn't respect me as her fiance in the relationship.
On that note, in our relationship, you've taught me a lot about what I think now a much healthier outlook of what respect means. Can you elaborate to you what does respect mean? I've probably asked this before, but I like how you think of it.
I think to me, like, respecting someone is, especially a partner in relationship with you, is things that it's important to them, and you diminishing that's also like a form of not respecting them, right?
One thing I've learned is respect in a relationship. I think a good definition of that, a part of it, is you would never do something or be with another person or do anything that you know that would make your partner uncomfortable. So it's more being thoughtful of your partner's reaction to your own behavior. And that's what this couple has nothing of, at least with this girl. And that's what I'm talking about. This type of girl, this type of person that has none of that. There's no empathy, like almost kind of like a macro empathy, like watching yourself. It's like this action that I'm doing, cuddling with this girl, for the girl. Simple question, like, would this make my partner uncomfortable?
Exactly.
That person will never ask themselves that question because there's no respect. Therefore, there's no respect. They don't ask these questions. Therefore, these things happen. And I think in a relationship that has mutual respect, that would never in a million years happen. Because even if one of the partners in the relationship came close to that situation happening, that question is a guardrail to prevent that thing from happening. Would this action I'm doing make my partner uncomfortable?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a basic question.
Yeah.
You can ask yourself more powerful questions. If I must say, in my previous relationships, I now know, being with you, I feel respected. I feel, mutual respect. You would never do something like that with me. I now would never do something like that to you. I know this viscerally, personally, because in previous relationships, it was the opposite. And I mean, frankly, I also didn't ask myself those questions in previous relationships. I kind of just like that, not to this degree, but I didn't ask myself those questions. Yeah. And so I'll admit I did not practice like mutual respect. I didn't realize that it's something that you do practice, and it's something, it's more of a conscious like effort.
The way I view it is like I always trying to put myself on the other person's shoes.
Empathy.
Like, empathy, yeah. If I'm gonna do this thing, right, how would my partner feel? Or like, if my partner is doing this thing to me, like, how would I feel, right? If I don't feel good, why would I want to do that to my partner too? So it's like that, like putting yourself on their shoes. That's the best way to go about it. Like, if you truly respect your person and you truly love them, right? Yeah.
Kind of a different topic, but more of a question to OP, or the author. As bad of a situation as this is, I also believe that a bigger element of why the quality of people, of those people are in your life is because you attract what you are. Or maybe to say, if you're somebody that's not so good at picking up these different things about people's behavior that can indicate they're toxic, they just happen to be in your life. So I wonder, like, is it just now that he's noticing after they got engaged all these things? Or I wonder if he really paid attention when they first started dating. Does she already have those signs? What do you think? Is it easy to detect these type of things?
I think if you make conscious decision to detect it, yeah, it's very detectable. But if you don't, you just kind of like go based off feelings, or because we all carry our like little baggages, and then those are determinant factor on how you pick people in your life. And I think how he ended up where he is, it probably still have a lot of like baggages that he needs to like kind of unravel to kind of go through them first. Then only then is he able to consciously picking people in his life that is not necessarily like that.
I'm going to say something probably controversial. Half the things I've said in this video are probably controversial. As a good Filipino boy myself, growing up, maybe even a little bit of a mama's boy, there's this craving to prove that you're a good boy. This craving to say, I'm just the good guy in this terrible situation. It's this like tyrant of a woman that I have to suffer through, and I'm a good guy, and I'm doing all these right things. I did the right thing. And I kind of just sense that from this guy. I could be wrong, but one, Filipino. Number two, just the way that he talks. Number three, he writes well. He even does a recap at the end, which is to say he cares about what people think, as do I sometimes, a little bit too much. Anyway, so I bring that up because I wonder if there's any, as bad as his situation is, in terms of helping him grow and things like that, I wonder if there's any reflection on his part. How did this woman end up in my life? Because, like, I would bet she just didn't appear in your life. There's something that you must have did, or there's something that, a vibe that you given off, or something, some type of circumstance that you were directly involved in contributing to that attracted this woman into your life. So I guess it kind of leads to what my advice would be. Get out of this situation. It sounds like he's already get out. But also reflect on yourself, because if you don't, as somebody that has had women like this in my past, now I've come to a point where I can admit where I was wrong too. I didn't have good boundaries back then. I saw early signs of toxic behavior. Well, first of all, I didn't know how to name it back then, but I let it happen, and I get into this victim mentality. I'm just this good guy. I'm laughing because it's like the joke's on you, like the guy, because if you don't reflect, you will find a girl just like this in the future.
I also think this is not the first time that this happened. I think in a relationship, when you come to a point where the drama is so big, it doesn't just happen overnight. Like, it's already set in stone from the beginning of the relationship. The minute they enter the relationship, it's like they already start to setting up the dynamic. And I think this has been their dynamic, where she probably gaslighting him a lot throughout their relationship. But it's just more dramatic now, and it's just probably more obvious for him to see and be able to point out and draw those things now. But I think it's probably has had happened in the relationship along the way, just maybe not as big of a deal as opposed to now, right? You're right with one thing. It's like you are attracting like these things maybe subconsciously. We do this thing of like self-fulfilled prophecy, right? Like,
I love that
we create dynamic that fulfill these like baggage that we have, and to fulfill certain identity that we live by, right? That's a good point. It's kind of like, as bad as maybe, or as toxic as maybe this girl is, you still have to reflect on your part. Like, why did I invite her in my life in the first place?
Yes.
Like, even though like maybe she might portray certain trait that you might not be, might think who she was, and then you date her in the beginning stage, like maybe in the 2 months, 3 months, you could kind of already tell like, okay, this person is like this way, right? With that, even if you have no knowledge of how she is in the beginning, you can still make the conscious decision to kind of move out of the relationship if that's not in your alley. But if you continue to water that relationship, continue to stay in that relationship, even if it's like so toxic, maybe a part of you is craving for that too. So yes, self-fulfilled prophecy. So it's a lot of healing for yourself too, growing for yourself too.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. So I kind of said my piece on my advice to him. What would your advice?
Oh yeah, he's already doing what he's supposed to do, which is to leave the relationship. Honestly, if it's me, I would have probably left the relationship long time ago. If this is the kind of person she was from the beginning of the relationship, I wouldn't even entertain that. As opposed to his advice, he was asking for advice to how do I go about like telling her parents, like in the beginning of the video where I was telling that he should just say as much as he need to, no more, no less than that. Just plain and simple, like, explain the situation factually, like she did this XYZ, therefore she didn't respect me as a person, as a partner, and I no longer want to be in the relationship. Ended like that.
One last thing I'll say, just from personal experience from dealing with this type of person and girl before, in the defense of the girl, and more like having some blame on myself too previously, and maybe this guy. These women, these people are not like this all of a sudden. They do, in their defense, tend to be like that from the beginning.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? So I would bet that she already started to give you some hints, you being OP, the author. Maybe you just didn't realize it, or maybe you just dismissed it. But like I said, I bet this is, as bad as the situation is, it's still congruent to her behavior from maybe when you started dating or in the beginning when you met her.
Yeah, I think OP...
He'd probably say different, but I don't think so.
I think OP's, like you said, what OP could have done better is drawing boundaries from the beginnings, and maybe that's what he didn't do properly. And that allows her to kind of like have this entitlement of I can throw this kind of tantrum, and rightfully so, like that. I think it has a big part with the boundary.
That's a good point too, because like this idea in human relations, I believe what comes before therefore comes after. Meaning somebody that's like this belligerent will only act like that with somebody that let it happen in the beginning. Because let's just suppose in the beginning he meets her with like a boundary. Maybe they wouldn't even get all the way to engagement, or at the very least she wouldn't act like this to this degree, but at the very least the dynamic would be very different.
Very different. Yeah. It's either the relationship will end early because she's not getting what she wants in the relationship, or dynamic will change because she say, okay, well, he's this way, I have to adjust to him and have to behave better. Right. So I think it's equally a fault for ignite those kind of fire or toxicity behavior. So